Today I'm going to be showing you my PlayStation 5 game collection in all of its glory, so enjoy. It's going to be quite a fun one. Hopefully you'll think that I've got some good stuff. You'll probably think that I have some not so good stuff as well, but we'll see. Okay, so first up we've got another Crab's Treasure. So this is a Souls-like. I believe it still has some difficulty, a bit of challenge to it, but it's not quite as punishing. From what I've heard, it could well be anyway. Yeah, looking forward to playing this one. I haven't started it just yet. This is a day one edition of the physical for another Crab's Treasure. So it's a bit more of a cartoony, sort of light-hearted style. There's a bit of comedy in there. From what I believe, you play as a crab that has been kicked out of his shell. So you have to go around finding new shells to live in. So on the back here it says, as Krill the Hermit Crab, you need to wear the trash around you as shells to withstand attacks from enemies many times your size. Embark on an epic treasure hunt to buy back your repossessed shell and discover the dark secrets behind the polluted ocean. Sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds pretty good. Typically I'm not really into the Souls sort of genre, but this one looks like it's quite approachable. It looks like it's a bit more my kind of thing, so should be good. Looking forward to playing that one. Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. It is a Souls-like. It is based on Greek and Roman mythology, so embark on a journey full of danger in this action RPG inspired by Greek and Roman mythologies. Explore the breathtaking city of Aphis and forge your way through legions of unique foes and mythical bosses to discover the truth behind the city's curse. This one I have played a little bit. I've got about maybe an hour into this one. It's quite good so far. I'm quite enjoying it so far. It's quite a nice, different sort of style. It doesn't seem as punishing as the usual sort of Souls genre. The mythologies aspect of it looks pretty good. The combat's quite nice. It's not too clunky. It's pretty fluid. It's not too bad. So looking forward to getting further into that one. Can't remember what it cost me now, but this was a fraction of what it should have been. Alright, next up we've got one that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give one anyway. It is Astro Bot. Fantastic game. So I've literally just completed this. I've just got the 100% and the platinum for this game. Absolutely brilliant. There is a video of that as well, me getting the final 100% level on Megamix Mastery, so be sure to watch that if you want to see me suffer. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a throwback to 3D platforming mascot genre. One of my favourite genres. I absolutely love mascot platformers. So that's everything from Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Mario obviously, all of those kind of style games, and this is a nice little throwback to that era of gaming with a more modern twist. So this game is fantastic for use of the DualSense controller. I think this is the game with the best use of the DualSense controller. It's got haptics for pretty much everything on this game, and it's absolutely amazing. So the core premise of this is you play as Astro, your ship gets attacked and crash lands on a nearby planet, but you have to recover all of the bots which have dispersed and gone missing, and you also have to recover the ship parts to power your spaceship, which in this case is conveniently in the shape of a PS5. A lot of these bots are throwbacks to PlayStation characters, iconic PlayStation characters throughout the years. Some of them are the more iconic ones, like Kratos, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. Some of them are a little bit more niche. You've got the Kutaro from Puppeteer is one of them. Really cool throwbacks to iconic PlayStation games and eras. Really good game. This won the Game of the Year in 2024. And I absolutely have loved my time with this one. It's been absolutely amazing. Absolutely fantastic game. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Okay, so I haven't started playing this one yet, but it looks like it's definitely my kind of thing. The cool thing about this one is that you play as two characters. One of them is alive and one of them is not. There's two different play styles of how each character deals with things, which seems pretty cool. From what I believe, it's a hack and slash kind of game with mystery kind of solving elements. Player choice. You can either punish the enemies or absolve them, from what I believe. On the back here, again, it says, New Eden, 1695, Antea and Red are lovers and banishers, trained spirit hunters, protecting people from lingering spectres. But when tragedy strikes and Antea herself becomes a ghost, will you honour your banisher oath or sacrifice the living in a desperate bid to bring your beloved back? Sounds like a really cool premise. Really looking forward to playing that. I've not got around to it yet, but that'll be a good one when I do, I think. Black Myth Wukong. This one has been very, very difficult to actually find a copy of. At one point I did find a pre-owned copy that was considerably less than what I actually paid for it, unfortunately. But when I found that copy, it was during a week where I just couldn't quite afford to pay for it at that time. I came back a couple of days later and it had gone, of course, because a very popular game. I was looking for it everywhere for a couple of months afterwards. Eventually found it about 3 months later and the price had pretty much doubled, which is really annoying, but yeah, I chose to pick it up because it's a very difficult one to actually find. And I haven't actually seen it since, to be honest. Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG rooted in Chinese mythology. You shall set out as the destined one to venture into the challenges and marvels ahead, to uncover the obscured truth beneath the veil of a glorious legend from the past. It's another that could be called a Souls-like, but I think it's a little bit more of a hack and slash sort of direction. Again, I haven't started playing it just yet, so I don't know exactly what to expect with it, but it looks like it's going to be a really, really cool game, and I know it's a very popular one. I know that a lot of people really like this one, and there was a lot of disappointment when Astro Bot beat this to Game of the Year in 2024, apparently, from some people. So really looking forward to playing that one. Should be pretty good. Black Sad Under the Skin. I picked this up literally because it was brand new on sale for like 15 New Zealand dollars. I had no idea what it actually was. I still don't really, but for that price I'm willing to find out. But it looks to me kind of like a Telltale Wolf Among Us kind of style game. Player-based choice, all that kind of stuff. Mystery, investigation, so don't know a huge amount about this game, but it looks like it could be quite a fun one to get into. By Sweet Carol. This is actually the game that's on the screen behind me. I've started playing it and it's really, really good, so I might actually restart my playthrough and put it on the channel because it's actually a really cool game. But this is it's a 2D hand-drawn animation game based loosely on the kind of 70s, 80s Disney style. But it's also, you're solving a mystery, there's a little bit of horror in here. When Lana investigates her best friend Carol's disappearance, reality twists into a nightmare and the terrifying Mr. Kin offers her a deadly deal. I'm about 3 chapters into this. I might actually restart that and put that playthrough on the channel, because this is a fascinating game so far. Mechanically, you can change between a human and a rabbit. The human side is good for puzzle solving, reaching things, reaching items, and the rabbit is good at jumping, hiding in tight spaces, keeping away from things that are chasing you down. There are some pretty terrifying kind of creatures and rabbit human hybrids in here. Parts of it are a little bit kind of Little Nightmares-ish, but in a completely different way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But really enjoying this game so far. It is by an indie company called Little Sewing Machine and published by Maximum Entertainment. For fans of the hand-drawn 2D animated art style, a little bit of horror, a little bit of mystery to solve. Very, very nice game. Really liking that one. So like I say, I might actually go back to the start of that one and put it on the channel. So that could be quite fun. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. 2025's Game of the Year. Deservedly so. Absolutely fantastic game. Everything from the story, the music, the acting, the voice acting, the mocap acting, the visuals, the gameplay, the use of turn-based mechanics in there. It's all really good. I absolutely love this game, and it takes you on many emotional twists and turns. It is fantastic. I absolutely love this game. In terms of my progress on this game, I've got the platinum for this one. I'm not going to be doing all of the DLC stuff. I've done some of it, but I had a lot of trouble with fighting Simon, if that means anything to you at all. So I'm definitely not keen to be trying to take down anything that's more difficult than Simon was. If you know, you know. I will probably not ever complete the DLC because it's above my skill level, unfortunately. But with that said, fantastic game, a lot of end game content. After the story wraps up, there's still hours and hours and hours of things to explore. Really, really good game, fantastic game. Really like it. Very good game. So anyone with a PS5, I think, should have that game. It is fantastic. Code Vein 2. So this is actually a very new one. This actually came out the day that I bought it, I think. And this again was part of EB Games' closing down sale. During the last couple of days they switched over to 75% off from previously doing 50% off. This had a price tag of 110 New Zealand dollars, and I ended up getting it for $27.50 for being 75% off on day one, which is pretty awesome. That never happens. Again, it's another Souls-like, which I keep saying isn't really my genre, but it seems that I'm getting quite a few Souls-like games through at the moment. But again, it does something a little bit different. This is kind of an anime style. The trailer that I saw of this when it was announced looked phenomenal. I was really, really looking forward to getting this game, but I wasn't expecting to get it on day one. I probably wouldn't pay full price on this one, but I didn't anyway. So no problems there. But it looks pretty interesting. Might not end up being my favourite kind of game, but it looks pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. It doesn't seem to need you to play the first one in order to enjoy this one. It's based on different characters, different setting, different story, so no real connection to the previous version. It could be one that I might enjoy, but yeah, we've got a really, really good deal on that. 75% off on day one. That just doesn't happen. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I'm aware that this one doesn't have the best reputation. A lot of people really didn't like this game, so I'm not quite sure exactly why at this point. I haven't tried it yet. I am new to the Dragon Age franchise in general as well, so this being my first entry in the series, I may actually end up enjoying it if it's just people didn't like it compared to the others. Yeah, I'm aware this is not a popular game at all. I actually got this one for free when I went to purchase a DualSense controller. This came free with it, so I didn't pay anything for this. So if it's not very good, then I haven't lost out on anything. To me, it actually looks okay. I'll give it a shot. I know that people don't really like this one. Yeah, I've never been one to be swayed by reviews and general consensus on things. I'll always give something a fair shot, and then if I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, then fair enough. But I'll always give it a fair shot, even if everyone else literally hates it. We'll see how that one goes. That one could be okay. Dredge. So this is actually a local game company that made this. Black Salt Games is a Christchurch based game studio here in New Zealand. So it's always good to support local. Don't know too much about this game, to be honest, but again I think it's one of two kind of halves, where you've got a more cozy kind of side which focuses on fishing and all that kind of stuff, but then there's a more sinister kind of side to it as well, where there's a mystery to solve, maybe some kind of monster things going on. Again, on the back it says sell your catch, upgrade your boat, and dredge the depths for long buried secrets. Explore a mysterious archipelago and discover why some things are best left forgotten. On the surface it seems like a nice cozy kind of fishing game, setting up a fishing business, but there is an undertone of something much more sinister going on in there as well, and that sounds really fascinating, so looking forward to getting into that one. So interestingly, I found an Xbox copy of this, and it was $44 pre-owned, and I was tempted to get that, and then for whatever reason I decided not to. But the same day I found the PS5 version of it, brand new, for $29. So decided to get that one instead. But yeah, just an interesting little story there. Final Fantasy 16. So not gonna lie, I'm actually really behind on Final Fantasy. I have never played a single game in the Final Fantasy franchise. If you can put in the comments whether this is a good place to start, that would be really cool, or if you would start somewhere else. But this is Final Fantasy 16. To me it looks really, really good. So the trailers that I've seen, the gameplay, it looks like it's really my kind of thing, more so than any other entry that I've seen in Final Fantasy. I am still trying to get 7 Rebirth and Remake, but haven't got those yet. But yeah, I've got a couple on different platforms, but this one is my PS5 one so far, and that's Final Fantasy 16. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and from what I've seen of it, I can't wait to get into this one. Problem that I've heard with Final Fantasy is just that they're really, really long, takes up a lot of your time, so I haven't got started on it for that reason really. But yeah, let me know in the comments if this is a good place to start with Final Fantasy, or if you would start somewhere else. So which one's your favourite Final Fantasy game? Which one's the best starting point for a newcomer to the series, such as myself? Fist, forged in Shadow Torch. So this one is a 2D platformer, kind of Metroidvania sort of style. It's a diesel punk setting where you play as this rabbit with a giant mechanical fist attachment. So that is your combat, basically, is this giant fist. Really interesting from what I've seen so far. I've got an hour or two into this one, and it's been a pretty fun game to play. Visually, I really like the style of this. So this is a dystopian diesel punk kind of future. Yeah, so basically the premise of this one is you live in a very authoritarian sort of state. The powers that be have kind of taken over and censored everything, essentially. Your friend gets essentially taken by these authorities, and it is your job as this rabbit to go and rescue your friend and fight back. Yeah, this was actually a pre-owned copy, but originally it would have come with a steelbook, which unfortunately didn't come with this one. It was just in a blank case with the cardboard sleeve around it. So what I've done is I've just cut up the cardboard sleeve and used it as the cover for the game. Pretty cool one, pretty cool. Been enjoying it so far. Like I say, I've not got too far into that one, but I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far. Pretty cool. Okay, a controversial one here. It's Forspoken. A lot of people really didn't like this game. I think it's okay. So far I've got about maybe 3 or 4 hours into it, and quite enjoying it, to be honest. It's not that bad. But a lot of people really didn't like how unlikable the character was, how the dialogue was written, all of that kind of stuff. I don't really have too much of an issue with that, but I can kind of see where they're coming from. But the gameplay itself, it's kind of, you get these supernatural powers. For whatever reason, you've got a bracelet that's talking to you that sends you to a different world. It's an open world RPG kind of game. Very, very big world, maybe not quite filled with as much as it could be, but the combat seems quite fun. You use basically magic spells, a bit of parkour. It's not a bad game. I don't really dislike it. It's not one of my favourites, but I don't really understand all the hate that it's been getting. I can see where people are coming from, but for me it seems like an okay game. So I'll keep on playing that at some point, but it's not a massive priority for me at the moment. Ghostwire Tokyo. Another quite interesting premise. Supernatural first-person game, so instead of first-person shooting, you're kind of using magic and fire effects and things like that. Tokyo's population has vanished, and deadly supernatural forces prowl the streets. Use an arsenal of elemental abilities to unravel the truth behind the disappearance and save Tokyo. When this was announced, I think it was announced late into the PlayStation 4 cycle, this actually really intrigued me. I wasn't too bothered about getting the PS5 at that point until this got announced, and I thought it looked really cool. Looking forward to getting into that one. I've heard mixed reviews on it, whether people like it or not. Some people really liked it, some people just didn't like it at all. Again, as I say, I always try things out before judging them, but I am quite looking forward to that one. It looks like pretty interesting art style, pretty cool supernatural kind of stuff going on. Yeah, looking forward to playing that one. Guardians of the Galaxy. Love this game, love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the movies, how they've been included in the MCU. I thought it was really cool. I really like this game. This one went under the radar a little bit. Not a lot of people really knew about this game. I guess people didn't really give it a chance because the Marvel Avengers game was not very popular. It didn't go down very well due to the overuse of live service kind of stuff going on there, and apparently that one is okay for the single player campaign now, but it killed a little bit of the momentum for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a shame because this is actually a really good game. I really actually enjoy this one. So you play as Star-Lord, so you don't get to play as all of them, unfortunately, but you do play as Star-Lord, and you have good integration with the rest of the characters. They travel alongside you, they're with you in all the fights and everything, but the banter, the comedy, the camaraderie between the characters it's all there, as you would expect from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all really cool, it's quite silly, but it's also pretty awesome. It's a pretty good game. I've got about 4 hours into this one and really enjoying it so far. The music in this is brilliant as well. So there are some licensed tracks on this one. I think there are also some new tracks on this one as well, but it really works well with the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of style of doing things. It's quite similar to how they're portrayed in the movies as well. Fantastic game. Highly recommend it. Easy to get it for very, very cheap because nobody really played it on release. While that's a shame, it makes for a really good game that you can get pretty cheap. Another game that you can get pretty cheap is Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Back in the day, I really loved the Quidditch World Cup game on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, possibly the Xbox as well. Personally, I had it on the GameCube and I really enjoyed that game. It was a little bit short, a little bit kind of repetitive, but I actually really enjoyed that game. It was a lot of fun. I was quite happy to pick this one up. Again, it was on sale. I don't think it was that popular when it first came out. It went cheap pretty quickly, so I picked it up. So far it's pretty fun. I quite enjoy it. It's literally you're playing Quidditch. They've completely overhauled the mechanics from what you had in Quidditch World Cup, and for me that's actually the point of contention with this, because I'm really not good at this game. I want to be, and I want to keep practicing on it, but yeah, at the moment I am terrible at this game, because the controls are just a little bit more complicated than I was expecting, but I'll get the hang of it and I'll be a Quidditch champion before you know it. But yeah, really cool game so far. I like the graphics style of this one. Yeah, it's Quidditch. It's Quidditch. It's cool. I love Harry Potter stuff, so yeah, hopefully I'll get good at that one. Speaking of Harry Potter stuff, we've got Hogwarts Legacy. Personally, really like this game. Really like it. So you're basically hundreds of years before the Harry Potter time, exploring Hogwarts and the surroundings. There are dark forces at work as well, as always with Harry Potter. It's really fun to explore around Hogwarts and all of these set pieces from the books, the movies. Yeah, it's really cool. They've done the combat really nicely on this one. The way that you do the spells is really fun. It's really engaging. It's a beautiful looking game on the PlayStation. I've played a bit on the PS4 version and the PS5 version. A beautiful looking game. It is a beautiful looking game. So I think the PS5 version does perform a little bit better, but they are both beautiful looking games. Surprisingly, this was actually made available on the Switch as well. Apparently that is not the way to play it for the best experience. So I highly recommend it on PS5. PS4 was good as well. Fantastic game. Really enjoyable. The Life is Strange Collection. I've been meaning to play this for years, and I've heard a lot of really good things about Life is Strange, and just never got around to actually playing it until I found this. And this comes with all 5 games, so Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, Life is Strange True Colours, and Life is Strange Double Exposure. So when this was released, I thought it was probably the best time to get into it. I would recommend getting this brand new, just because 2 of the games are on the disc, and that is True Colours and Double Exposure, but the other 3 games, Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 2, those are the PS4 version, and they are downloadable codes. So I would recommend, if you do get this, get the brand new one, because if you get it pre-owned, those codes may have already been used and you'd be missing out on 3 games, which is unfortunate. I would much prefer them to have just put it on the disc for everything, but that's the way things have been going recently, so can't complain too much. But in terms of the game itself, really enjoyed all 5 of these games. DLCs and the demo stuff, it's all been very enjoyable. There are things about it that I can take or leave, but for the most part, very enjoyable games. I will actually have to do a video on ranking what I think of each Life is Strange game at some point. There is a new one coming out in March as well, Life is Strange Reunion. I'll get onto that as soon as I can, and I might even play that on the channel. Really good games, pretty short, easy to platinum, maybe 6-8 hours runtime for each one. Really good, highly recommend Life is Strange, very enjoyable. Lords of the Fallen, the remake. I did have the original Lords of the Fallen on the PS4, or was it on the 360? No, I think it was on the PS4. I think it was one of the first games I got on the PS4. I enjoyed the premise of it, but the execution was pretty bad. The combat was really clunky, it was a bit buggy, and frame rates were all over the place, and it wasn't a great playing experience. I'm told that this fixes all of those issues that the original had. There were initially problems at launch where people were having some issues with this version, but apparently it's all been patched out now and everything works properly. Again, I haven't started playing it yet, but it's another Souls-like. This is probably one of the more dark Souls-likes in my collection. As I say, it's not really my genre, but I seem to be amassing quite a few Souls games. This was This was cheap. I can't remember if it was pre-owned or on sale or both. Looks like it's a pretty good game. This one has the mechanic of traversing between worlds. So there is the main world and then there's like an afterlife version of it from what I understand. As a bearer of the umbral lamp, embark on an epic journey through the lands of Mornstead in your quest to overthrow a demon god. Will your legend be one of light or darkness? Quite looking forward to this. I'll get around to it eventually. So as I say, Souls-likes aren't really my thing, but I'm picking up the ones that look like ones that I would enjoy. So I like the look of that one. Lost Soul aside, a lot of people were very, very excited for the release of this one, myself included, but a lot of people were also quite disappointed when it actually arrived. I don't really know why, because I haven't played it yet, but to me this looked like it was going to be kind of a return to the 360 era hack and slash sort of games. From what I've seen, it does kind of look like that. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like this one, and I'm yet to find out why. I don't know, to me it looks like it should be pretty good. So I'll give it a go. Do you have an opinion on Lost Soul aside? Leave it down in the comments. Are you on the side of being very disappointed by it, or are you on the side of really actually enjoying it? Let me know in the comments. Another Marvel game, this one is Midnight Suns. Played a few hours of this one. I actually really enjoyed the time that I have spent with this one. Some of the darker characters of the Marvel lineup. So we've got Wolverine, we've got Doctor Strange, we've got Ghost Rider, Blade, there is Iron Man on the cover as well, Spider-Man's on the cover as well. I've really enjoyed my time with this so far. It's a real-time strategy kind of game, which took me a little bit off guard. I wasn't quite expecting that to be the main gameplay loop, but I've actually found it quite enjoyable so far. It's one of those where I was playing it for a little while and then got distracted by something else and haven't ended up going back to it, but I do intend to at some point. Embrace the darker, supernatural side of Marvel in this tactical RPG where you'll fight alongside and live with iconic heroes such as Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Blade and more. That's right, there was kind of two sides to this game. So there is the missions, which are the more kind of tactical real-time strategy sort of game, and then there's kind of a living simulation side of it where you're communicating with people and befriending them or whatever. Again, I think this one had pretty mixed reviews, and I think it was for that reason, because it was more the socialising kind of side of it that people couldn't get into. So far, I really enjoy this game. Yeah, I've got a few hours into that one. I need to get back into that one because I actually really enjoyed what I've seen so far of it. Mortal Kombat 1. It's actually not 1, weirdly numbered, because the previous one before this was 11. I think this is where they have decided to reboot the franchise and go in a slightly different direction with it. I've never played a Mortal Kombat game at all, so I don't know what the old version of it was compared to the new version. I have no idea. I do like some fighting games, not against fighting games at all. This looks like it could be quite a fun one, a little bit kind of violent, a bit gory, but that's what Mortal Kombat was known for the whole time, so I'm not too dissuaded by that. Discover a reborn Mortal Kombat universe created by the fire god Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with new fighting system, game modes and fatalities. I found this very, very cheap shortly after it released, and I think it's because they ordered too many in their inventory. So I ended up getting this for, I think it was $29. Should have been like $100 game at that point, but I think they just overstocked it, and that was that. Neon White, a bizarre game. It's basically kind of a arcade first-person shooter, but there's a lot of parkour. So it's little mini kind of levels with different challenges, and you have to get to the finish as soon as possible, and there are always faster ways that you can actually get there. So if you get a good time, there's always a way to get there faster. It's referring to itself here as the heavenly speedrunning shooter. Sacrifice your guns for godlike parkour moves in this lightning fast first-person action platformer. So it's a platformer focusing on parkour with some shooting mechanics as well. It's an anime sort of style, comedic, a bit goofy in some of the cutscenes and interactions. A very fun kind of speedrun sort of level based game. So yet to play that, but I've seen a little bit about it. Looks like it could be quite fun. So again, this came from a heavy discount. I can't remember what I paid for that, but it was definitely not full price. But I've heard good things about that one. People seem to enjoy that one. Nico Dorico, or Nico Derico, however you want to pronounce it. It's a stupid name. Nico Dorico, The Magical World Director's Cut. I don't like the name at all, but the game itself is actually pretty good. A 3D platform, well, 2.5D platformer, takes heavy influence from Donkey Kong Country, from Crash Bandicoot, and a little bit from Rayman Origins Legends. It's basically like if you merged Donkey Kong Country with Crash Bandicoot and Rayman was there, then that is pretty much what this game is. So it's quite a fun game. It is again a throwback to mascot platforming, which, like I say, is one of my favourite genres of gaming. Join Nico and Luna on a journey to save a magical island from the evil Baron Grimbold in the definitive edition of your new favourite platformer. Run, jump and ride through the 8 worlds with the 2.5D and 3D levels packed with thrills, minecart rides, wild chases, underwater odysseys and more. Nico Dorico is our love letter to the whole genre, and we truly hope you enjoy it. Play on your own or burst into this vibrant adventure together with a friend in couch co-op. So far I've played the demo of this. I've not played the actual game, but so far I've found it pretty enjoyable. The character design isn't the best, but the levels themselves, the combat's pretty good, the way that it controls is pretty good. It's very nostalgic. It reminds me a lot of the games that it's basing itself on. So it is, as it says, a love letter to this particular genre, and I think it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty decent one. I'm definitely enjoying it so far. I'll be looking forward to playing that one. I might even play it on the channel, because it is a good game. It is pretty fun. One Piece Odyssey. Not too familiar with One Piece. It's one of the animes that I've not actually checked out. There's so many series of the anime that I'm probably not ever going to catch up with it. I did watch the live action series on Netflix and I thought that was pretty cool. So One Piece Odyssey, I believe it is an action RPG in an open world. I could be completely wrong there. Obviously I've not played this yet. The Straw Hat crew is hit by a storm and shipwreck on the legendary island Wofford. After meeting Adio and Lim, they realise the way forward in their journey is to revisit their past as they uncover the secrets of the island and what makes it so legendary. Don't really know the lore of One Piece particularly, but it is intriguing. I like certain anime kind of stuff. It is an anime that I think I would like, but it's just going to be so much time if I start watching the anime now. Definitely keen to get into this one. Don't know too much about it. Plucky Squire. So the Plucky Squire takes on different kind of different types of platformer. So it goes into a 2D platforming, it goes into 3D platforming, 2.5D. It seems to kind of seamlessly switch between the three. Looks really cool. It's an indie game. Puzzles, platforming. Definitely need to get into this one, but it looks like a really fun, colourful one. I'll get into that at some point, maybe again as a video on the channel. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Again, this one kind of went a little bit under the radar. I don't think it sold as well as Ubisoft wanted it to. I'm not going to get into all the Ubisoft stuff. Yeah, they're making decisions that people aren't very happy with at the moment. I don't know, I think this looks like a really good game. Again, it is a 2.5D Metroidvania, which is a departure from the style of older Prince of Persia games, which again I haven't actually played, so maybe I need to get into Prince of Persia a little bit as well. Again, put down in the comments what Prince of Persia game would you recommend. It's got a nice art style, it looks pretty slick, the platforming, the combat, it all looks pretty decent to me. So again, I think this one just didn't really sell very well when it first launched, so the price came down really quickly, which I think is a bit of a shame for something like Prince of Persia, which obviously has been going for a long time, many followers. Like I say, I've not been one of them, but I think it's unfortunate that a game with that much reputation for the franchise is reduced in price so quickly. I mean, I don't mind that because it means that it's cheaper to actually get my hands on it. Yeah, I feel like they didn't sell as many copies as they were expecting to with this one. I don't know, looks like a solid game. Looks pretty good. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is one of the best looking games on the PS5. This was a pretty early game, if not even a launch title. I'm not too sure on that, so don't quote me on that one. From what I've seen, it is a beautiful game. It looks almost like a Pixar movie. Really cool, really stylish, lots of flashy colours, very slick, very well optimised apparently. Just looks like a lot of fun. So I'm pretty new to the Ratchet and Clank franchise, to be honest, as well, which is surprising because, like I say, I really do like platformers, mascot platformers. Yeah, I never really got into Ratchet and Clank on the PS2. I've only really just kind of dived into it with the PS4 release, Ratchet and Clank, and then this one. I managed to pick this up reasonably cheap. Usually it's still quite an expensive game around here, so I don't know if that's true everywhere else. I managed to pick it up for a pretty reasonable price. This might even be my first proper playthrough on Ratchet and Clank, but looks like a really good game, really polished, really optimized, which is always a good thing. This might be my introduction to the Ratchet and Clank franchise, and it looks absolutely amazing, so looking forward to that. Rise of the Ronin, a bit in the vein of Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Shadows. A very similar kind of play style to a lot of these other games that are releasing at the moment. Played through the demo of this and it was actually a very generous demo. I think the demo gave me about 6 hours of playtime, if I'm not mistaken, but I really enjoyed the demo actually. I didn't think that I would, but I actually really enjoyed it. So you play as two samurai, and you can switch between the two at any time, and that's kind of the cool thing about this one, is you can be in the middle of a fight with a bunch of different enemies, and you can switch perspectives of who you're actually fighting with, so you'll just jump into the other character at any given time whenever you choose to. So it's a really cool mechanic, and play that tactically to get the best vantage point on where to throw your attack. Pretty cool traversal mechanics. It's got a really big open world, huge open world, all the side quests and all that kind of stuff. I actually really enjoyed my time with the demo. I've not played beyond the demo at the moment, but I really enjoyed my time with the demo. It was a lot of fun, and I just got completely lost into the world of this. As I say, it is comparable to a lot of different games that are coming out at the moment, so this one may have gone a little bit under the radar for comparison with, say, Tsushima or Yotei, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Don't know why I keep calling it Shadows Creed. Maybe it's a better name, I don't know. But yeah, really enjoyed what I've played of this so far. It looks like it's going to be a very generous game content wise. It looks like it's going to be a lot of hours to actually play through. But yeah, really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. Sackboy Big Adventure. Sackboy obviously is from Little Big Planet. So huge game on the PS3. So Little Big Planet 1, 2 on the PS3, and then 3 was on the PS4. So this is a little bit of a departure to the style of those games, and it is more straight up 3D platformer, puzzle platforming, very colourful, very vibrant, what you'd expect from that kind of genre. Save Craft World from the dastardly Vex in this epic and perilous platforming 3D adventure, and fulfill your destiny as the legendary knitted knight of the Imagisphere. I don't really know what happened with Little Big Planet and Sackboy and whatever. They seemed to kind of abandon it for a little while, but they've brought him back in this, and yeah, looking forward again to getting into that. I wasn't really a massive fan of the Little Big Planet games. I like Sackboy as a character, the general presentation, but the gameplay was not really for me with Little Big Planet, but this one seems as though it's more my kind of thing in terms of that, but looks like a good one. Looking forward to it. Solstice, a bit of a hack and slash kind of game. Looks really fun. It says here, bound by ritual, reborn as Chimera, Briar and Lute are soul-bound sisters who live and fight as a single unit. These unique warriors are the only ones who can oppose the spawn of chaos, vile and ravenous beings that have come pouring into this world from beyond the veil. A little bit kind of less Souls-like and a bit more traditional in the action side of things. If you have a look, you can see that there's some water damage that's happened on this one, which is really annoying because this is a game that I've not ever found in New Zealand, so I had to get this from Australia, which in itself isn't such a bad thing, but it just happened to arrive on a day that it was pouring down with rain, much like today actually. It just happened to arrive on my doorstep on a really wet day, and the packaging wasn't very waterproofed. I'm a little bit annoyed about it, but the disc is absolutely fine. No issues with the disc whatsoever, but the cover got absolutely soaked. So I had to salvage it with a hairdryer and just take the cover out and just hairdry it for about half an hour. I like to keep my things in really good condition. This was brand new right off the bat. It's just got water damaged from arriving in the mail, which is unfortunate, but it looks like a really good game that I'm really looking forward to getting into. I'll maybe do that on the channel as well. Looks like that could be a favourite game for me. Spider-Man Miles Morales. What do I need to say about the Spider-Man franchise? They've done a fantastic job. Insomniac Games have done really well with the Spider-Man franchise. Played a little bit of the PS4 version of the Spider-Man game. I've not completed it yet. I need to complete that before moving on to this. Fantastic games. Excellent series of games. Yeah, Insomniac have done such a great job of bringing these to life. Don't need to say too much more about it because everyone knows what these are. Same again, Spider-Man 2, more of the same, just excellent Spider-Man web swinging from Insomniac. So I actually got this one pretty cheap as well. This one's definitely pre-owned, I think. This, at the time, was a pretty expensive game. It may still well be, I think, but I managed to get this marked at $49, and they actually gave me a $10 discount on it, so I paid like $39 for Spider-Man 2. So really happy about that. As I say, I will have to complete the first one before moving on to this and Miles Morales. Fantastic game series, really need to catch up with those. Stellar Blade, brilliant game, hack and slash, action RPG kind of style, really cool. So similar to sort of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, all those good games. I really enjoyed those on previous platforms, 360 I think. Yeah, while I'm on the Bayonetta subject, it really annoyed me actually that they released the first one cross-platform and then the second and third one were only on Nintendo. So I still haven't picked up the second and third one, but never mind, that's a completely different topic. But yeah, Stellar Blade, just fantastic. Action, hack and slash, lots of fun. Yeah, just classic 360 style hack and slash gameplay. Really enjoyable, really nice. Fluid combat, and you can put different outfits on the main character as well, so why not? Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Okay, yeah. So obviously Rocksteady made a fantastic series with the Arkham series, and those were fantastic games. All of those were really, really good. Of course, many people are pretty disappointed with this one, and it's just, I mean, it's kind of fun for what it is, but yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about that one. Chia Oleti edition. Yeah, I don't know what to expect with this one. It looks kind of okay. So the main draw for this one is you can transform into different animals, different objects, all that kind of stuff. Join Chia on a tropical open-world adventure as she sets off to rescue her father from the cruel tyrant Miavora, ruler of the archipelago. I hate that word, archipelago. Face the fabric soldiers created by Miavora in open encounters where your creativity gives you the edge. A poetic, coming-of-age story inspired by New Caledonia. Yeah, looks interesting, to be honest. The art style doesn't really do it for me. It looks a little bit ugly to me, but the gameplay looks like it's pretty chill, pretty fun. Not expecting a massive amount from that, but should be pretty fun. Should be okay. But oh, can you hear that? That is sticker residue on this next one. Tekken 8. Great franchise. I've always loved the Tekken games. I started on the PlayStation 1 with Tekken 3, and then worked my way backwards 1 and 2, and then continued on the PS2, 4, Tag Tournament, 5. 5 was absolute peak for me. I loved Tekken 5. I thought that was the best in the franchise until I played this one, actually. Tekken 6 lost me a little bit. I didn't think that one was as good, and I didn't really like it that much compared to the other ones. So I ended up trading it in, and then I've recently picked it up again on the PS3, but haven't played Tekken 6 for a long time, so maybe I'll revisit that and get a better opinion of it. Then I played Tekken 7, and I still didn't like it that much. It was good, but they'd changed too much of the controls for my liking, and they've changed a lot of how the difficulty settings, and they made it a little bit too challenging for me personally. I tend to prefer things not quite so challenging. But then I played Tekken 8, and I absolutely love Tekken 8. The story mode in this is fantastic. The fights they feel a bit more achievable than they did in 7. Yeah, I think Tekken 8 is absolutely brilliant, and I need to get further into this, because again, I've only played a few hours, but I have a very long history with the Tekken franchise. I absolutely love the earlier Tekken games. Tekken 8 for me is a massive return to form after 6 and 7, to be honest. Fantastic game, love Tekken. Tekken 8 I think is the best one in the franchise. What do you think of this one? This is Until Dawn, the PS5 version. I've got the PS4 version as well. Absolutely love the PS4 version. Haven't played the PS5 version yet. I've heard some things. I've heard that they've messed a few things up with the PS5 version. I will have to play it and see for myself, but again, I might even do that on the channel. I love the PS4 version. I really like the PS4 version. I think it's a fantastic game. I don't really know why they needed to remake it on the PS5, because the PS4 version still holds up. Not too sure why they remade it, but looking forward to it. They've improved some of the graphics, they've improved the texture resolutions, basically just made quality of life changes in that respect. But yeah, I've heard that they've also changed a few things that shouldn't have been changed as well. I'll see how it goes. I'm a big fan of Until Dawn on the PS4. If this is even as good as that, then I'm really happy with that. So hopefully this improves on the PS4 version. I'm actually really looking forward to getting into it again. The PS5 is probably the best way to do it now. So hopefully they haven't changed things that I didn't want them to change. I will play that very, very soon, I think. getting the craving for Until Dawn. VED or VED? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Hand-drawn art and story-driven RPG with turn-based combat and roguelite elements. Dynamic relationship system. Build a village to unlock new skills and abilities. Unique events impose curses or blessings. Eclectic soundtrack. Symphonic, folk and hip-hop. It looks like a nice game. The art style looks really cool. Don't know much about this at all, but yeah, the reason I have this is because I found it brand new for $5. So figured it was worth having a go. I've not had a go yet, but yeah, looks like it could be quite good. We'll give it a try. Wild Hearts. Similar to the likes of Monster Hunter, this is a monster taming game. In this one, it is very reliant on setting up traps to catch the monsters. A lot of crafting, monster hunting, basically. Managed to pick this up one really cheap on clearance for $8. Everywhere else at the time was selling it for about $110, $120 possibly. For $8, thought I'd give it a pick up. Looks like it could be a pretty good game. I like the designs of the monsters in this. Very similar kind of concept to Monster Hunter. Looks like a pretty good game. I'm pretty keen to get into it. Recreation. This is made by some of the same people who made the Burnout franchise, which is a fantastic racing game. I absolutely loved Burnout back in the day, so particularly Burnout 3, Burnout Revenge, Burnout Dominator, really good games. I wasn't so much into Paradise, because for me I think the open world kind of ruined it a little bit, but I believe this is closer to Paradise than to the others, but if it's made by the same people from Burnout, then I'm definitely going to give this a go, because Burnout was one of my absolute favourites back in the day. So if this is even close to that, then it's going to be a lot of fun. Should be good. And finally, we've got You Suck at Parking. Pretty fun game, very different type of driving game. This is more of a puzzle game than it is a driving game, but the idea behind this is to park all the cars in little mini maps. There are obstacles. The challenge there is that you have to rely on forward momentum. If you stop the car, then you end your challenge run. You have to stop the car in the car park, otherwise you will lose. Very fun game, very addictive game. It's one of those where you keep thinking to yourselves, one more try, I'll keep doing this one more. You can end up spending hours just parking cars on this, which it's a lot of fun. It's a really good game. I would highly recommend it. I managed to pick this up pretty cheap. I think it was about $19 brand new, but yeah, it's a pretty fun game, and you can spend a lot of time just wasting time and parking cars with this. A lot of fun, very addictive. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video for my PlayStation 5 physical collection. Thank you for watching. There will be more similar videos to this one with my various collections. So everything from PS1 to PS4, all of my Nintendo stuff, all my Xbox stuff. So there will be similar kind of content to this. Leave a comment down below. What was your favourite thing in my collection? What was your least favourite game in my collection? What games am I missing in my collection? What game in my collection do you recommend that I start playing as soon as possible? Because games are intended to be played. There's no point if they're just sitting on the shelf the whole time. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's been a bit of a longer one, but hopefully it's been quite enjoyable for you. Thank you.